We've been talking about the idea of operating systems in class, and one of the things that operating systems control are the creation of files and folders and the ability to organize um, files and folders on your computer. We're actually going to take a look at this concept of files and folders in a little different light than an operating system, although technically it does translate over to the operating systems on your Chromebooks. But we're going to take a look at it here through the lens of Google Drive. Now, in this tutorial, we're looking at Google Drive through a web browser, not through your Chromebook operating system. However, in this day and age, the idea of the browser and the operating system have kind of come together in a sense through your Chromebook, because the reality is your Chromebook, the operating system on your Chromebook, is basically your Chrome web browser. They call it Chrome OS, but it's really just an enhanced version of the Google Chrome web browser. So I know we've been talking about this idea of files and folders in operating systems, but I thought for the purpose of this tutorial and the purpose of what we use folders for in not only in ed tech class but in all your classes, because you all have Chromebooks, I thought we would take a look at it here today with Google Drive. Now, just real quick, the purpose of this assignment is to kind of organize your Google Drive, and I know some of you have done some of this before. I think in sixth grade, a lot of your sixth grade teachers talk to you about organizing your folders in Google Drive to match the different classes you have throughout the day. Excuse me. So I've kind of started that process already, and what you're going to do for the assignment here to A11 is that you are going to just basically take a screenshot of your organized Google Drive that's part of your Google student account here at school. Now I've started the process already. I've already made four different folders for the different hours. I also made a to sort folder. Now you can call this something else if you want to, but you can just simply click on the folder, and by control clicking on it or right clicking with your mouse, this menu will pop up, and as many of you know, you can rename your folders here. So if you want to call it personal stuff, you can do that. You can change it to any name you want to. As far as a folder where you may put things that don't belong to another class, or you can call it other names if you want to as well. But I have my first 4 hours in up here already, so I'm going to go ahead and create the last two folders. Now I can either go over here to New, click on New, and I can go to Folder, and then I can go ahead and title it Fifth Hour. We'll make this Language Arts, and I'm just kind of mimicking a typical seventh grade schedule. That's fifth hour. Or what you can do, if you control click or right click in your Drive main menu area, this will come up where you can put in a new folder, and I'll just go sixth hour, and what's left, science, I believe. Okay, so we create that there. And now we have all 6 hours of our day listed here. And you just kind of organize them by your own schedule. Certainly you don't have to follow this. You should be using your own schedule here. But go ahead and make a folder for every hour. And one of the things, or one of the, some of the cool features that you can do here is you can kind of color code these if you want to. So by control clicking or right clicking, you can click on one of them and you can change the color if you want. Maybe you want to make math a green, and maybe you want to make social studies a different color here. You can come down here and choose some different colors, so on and so forth, and just kind of play around those features if you want to. So I'm not going to go through all these. Maybe I'll do one more here. Change it to maybe a red or something like that. So anyway, you can go through and change the colors of the folders if you want to. A couple other features in here that are kind of nice. I showed you how to rename things already. Again, you just kind of, you can click on it and control click, and rename is in this folder here. Also, any files or folders that you have on your computer or I'm sorry, on your Google Drive rather, you can download to your digital device that you're viewing it through. So if I control click here or right click here, you notice there's a download function here. There's lots of other things that you can do. You can move to different folders here. This is a file. I can move it to another folder. You can put a folder within another folder. If I were to click this, for example, it shows me the different folders I have available to me. I can also just drag and drop, just like I do in an operating system. So, for example, if I want to take my digital ed tech textbook here and put it into third hour or my third hour ed tech, which I don't have a third hour ed tech, but if you did, you'd be in there. And then now, if I go in there and look at it, if I open it, I can see that this is in my third hour ed tech folder. The other thing I was going to mention over here real quick is another way of quickly seeing what's on your Google Drive is by going over here to the side menu over underneath the new button. You'll see where it says My Drive, and you can click this little arrow here and it will open up My Drive and show you all the folders that are part of My Drive. If you want to take a look at what you've used recently, you can go to Recent, and you can see which things that you've accessed recently or you've seen recently. You can also go in and see things that you've starred that you maybe want to look at later. And to star something, let's say, for example, you go in here and you go down to a file. You can, oops, sorry about that, change of view. You can star a file if you want to, and kind of make that stand out, and that'll show up in your star folder or your star list there. So if you go add star here by control clicking on it, right clicking on it, it'll put it in your starred in your starred list. So if that's something I starred, for example, you'll notice that'll show up here in this list now. So anyway, just some different things that you can do as far as organizing. Oh, one other thing I was going to show you real quick is that if you don't like the small icon view in Drive, there is the ability to go to what they call a grid view, and that kind of makes these into kind of bigger images. And certainly if there's a file, for example, if I go into third hour tech here, and I look at my digital textbook now, you notice it looks much bigger than it would be in the list view. It's a little bit different there. So just some different things that you can take a look at as far as organizing your Google Drive and kind of getting it set up so you can keep track of things. What I'd like you to do, guys, when you're done here with your organization is just simply take a screenshot of all this, and I'll have one in the assignment example there. But just take a screenshot of this. Maybe have your My Drive list showing, but certainly have your folders that you made showing up here, so that we can see that you've kind of messed around with this and tried some of the features of making folders and organizing your files into folders and keeping your drive useful that way.